Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming tonight. This is exciting. It's the book launch for Voices from the Hills, Steve's new book. Thank you to the Skidder Hotel for hosting us. And in my opinion, this is the most beautiful set of hills in the English landscape, so it's pretty fitting for this book launch. So tonight we have the privilege of the company of Linda Lord, who features in Steve's book as a real female fell running pioneer. I've got the good fortune of asking some questions to start with, and then we have a little excerpt from Steve to talk about the book itself, and then I'm going to open the floor, so get thinking of your questions. There'll be a good chance to ask the questions that you want to, both to Linda and Steve, and then a chance to buy the book afterwards. Tiny bit of housekeeping is that there's a sign to show where the fire exit is behind, and there are toilets situated just down the corridor. But this is really a lovely opportunity to celebrate female fell runners and a super new book. Short intro, first of all starting with Steve. I think it's fair to say that Steve rose to acclaim with a really exceptionally titled It's a Hill, Get Over It in 2013 when I checked. So congratulations to Steve on a decade of phenomenal books about the fells. Voices from the Hills is published by Sandstone, and it's Steve's fifth book about fell and mountain running. Steve has brought to light really important stories about our heroes on the fells. Delighted to say that we have Kenny Stewart in the audience tonight, who features in Running Hard, as well as Linda from the new book. And I think it's really important for those of us who run and those of us who know the people who run to really share our love of mountain running with a wider audience and kind of celebrate these icons who probably weren't on social media at the time, but really set the standards and the path and are real legends of our sport. Short background on Steve. Before writing became what I would say a full-time career, he was an Educational Development Officer for Middlesex University, and he's the former chair of the Society of Cartographers and the ICA Commission in Cartography. And I think when he's not writing, you'll generally find Steve in the hills with his family or actually coaching athletes himself. Delighted to have Linda Lord with us today, and she is indeed a mountain running pioneer. Her story contains many firsts for women, but she can actually claim to have run in the very first official women's fell race at Pendle in 1977, and we're going to hear a bit more about that later. Born in Shipley, West Yorkshire, she was athletic from a young age. She gained an affiliation with Cumbria, studying in Ambleside. I'm guessing that was Charlotte Mason College? Yeah. And actually invested her career in teaching, similar to Steve, in education until her retirement. Her running career took flight after marriage and moving to Lancashire, I think is correct. And she was the second only woman to join Clayton Lemore's Harriers. Again, we'll hear a bit more about that. And still running competitively to this day, her career has encompassed many firsts in the field of women's running, as Steve's book documents, and we're delighted to have Linda here tonight. I'm going to hand over to Steve to talk a little bit more before I start asking questions.